Good morning, friends. Welcome to Telugu Computer Channel. We are going to discuss about educational technology. We will discuss about definition and meaning of education technology, characteristics of education technology, and the developments of education technology and importance of educational technology in this lecture. First of all, we will discuss about definition and meaning of educational technology. First of all, we will try to find the meaning of technology. Actually, technology is a Greek word. Technology is derived from two Greek words, namely technique and logia. So, the technology is a combination of two Greek words, technique and logia. Here the technique means skill. Skill is nothing but the ability to do something, means how to do some work. That is known as skill. And logia means study. So here the technology means how to do something, that is the study of how to do something or some work. That is nothing but the technology. If we will see the definition of technology, according to here, set of instruments and skills which are used to satisfy the needs of the community. That is known as the technology. If you will see the picture which is shown there, then you can see a teacher is teaching students with the help of computers. Here the concept is, it is having some instruments. Those instruments are some electronic instruments, and with that help of instruments, the teacher is teaching the students. Here we can observe two things. The first thing is, it is having some electronic devices, and second thing is the teacher's teaching capability. Whenever we will mix these two things, that is known as the technology. Means the teacher has having some teaching skills, and one more thing is that those things are electronic devices. With the help of electronic device, the electronic devices means here it may be the computer or the projector or the secondary storage devices. That is we are going to that is some of the things that are stored in the secondary devices, and keyboard, mouse, everything, whatever they are using. So whenever we will consider all these things, that is known as the technology. And here one more thing is mentioned, that is satisfy the needs of community. Here the community is nothing but student community. And what are the needs? The needs are the student must be able to learn something with the help of the teacher and the electronic devices. So here it is known as educational technology. Now we will discuss the meaning of education. Education is derived from the Latin word educatum. So the meaning of educatum is to bring out the better qualities of the individual. Actually, the educatum meaning is bring out, and the education meaning is to bring out the better qualities of the individual. And according to the Rose, what he's saying is, education is that process which is used to taking the person in the right way. If you will see the picture, here so many things are mentioned there. There is a student who is the individual, and if you can observe, there is a Vaz. Vaz is telling that timely manner he has to do everything. Means at the right time he must wake up every day, and according to the time he has to study, according to the time he has to go to the bed, and according to the time he has to rise, like that. And you can see there is an apple is there. Means it is telling that he has to take the right food for his healthy. That is In order to be healthy, he has to take the right food. There is a bag, there are books, there is something geometry things, and like that, everything he has to consider all aspects in the right way, so that he is having the ability to develop his better qualities, so that he will be in the right way. That is known as education. Now we will find what is the meaning of educational technology. Actually, there are three views regarding the meaning of educational technology. Among them, first one is Educational Technology 1 or ET1. This ET1 is nothing but the hardware, means the devices which are used for instructional purposes. Hardware means the things which you can feel, or we can touch, or we can see. Those things are known as hardware. For example, if you will take a radio or computer, you can see the radio or computer, and you can touch it, and you can feel. These things are known as hardware. Simply saying, the devices which is used for educational purposes. For example, it may be a laptop, or a smartphone, or a projector, like that. And these things are known as hardware, means the hardware which we are using in our educational purposes. And the second view is Educational Technology 2 or ET2. And it is nothing but the software approach. Software approach is nothing but the teacher's teaching capabilities, and how the teacher is teaching means what are the methods he is using, and reinforcements of instruction system. Reinforcements means strengthening, means how we can strengthen the education system, and feedback means after teaching something to the student, at what point the student understood. This feedback, and reviews, the same thing, and evaluation means after teaching something to the student, at what extent the student understood, that we can evaluate the student. So all these things are known as the behavioral terms. The behavioral terms is nothing but the software approach. The next thing is the final view is Educational Technology 3. Educational Technology 3 is nothing but it's a combination of ET1 plus ET2. There is nothing but the hardware and software. Whenever we will combine these two things, that is known as system approach or Educational Technology 3. So simply saying, the teacher is taking the input. The input is nothing but with his teaching capabilities. If he will add these electronic devices, and after that he will process in the classroom, means using these electronic devices he will teach to the students, and after that the output is nothing but at what extent the student understood, and this is nothing but the attainment of educational objectives. Final output is nothing but at what percentage the student understood the concepts. Whenever we combine this hardware and software approaches. Hardware is nothing but the electronic devices, that is we are using the electronic devices in our teaching system, and whenever we will combine the teacher's teaching experience. Next concept is characteristics of educational technologies, means the qualities of educational technologies. Here if you will see the picture, we can see four things: broadcast, asynchronous, communicative, and synchronous. First of all, we will try to understand what are these four concepts. The first one is broadcast. Broadcast is nothing but content is open to the public. That is known as broadcast. Means, for example, if you can listen to a radio, that is nothing but the broadcasting of some signals. Means we can hear the video, hear the audio from the radio, and at that time everyone can hear that. That is nothing but the broadcasting. And one more thing is live TV. In a particular time in TV or television, we can watch. At the same time, everyone can watch the same content from anywhere. That is known as broadcasting. And one more thing is, if we will see a lecture in YouTube, the content is open to everyone. Means everyone in the world can see the content. That is nothing but the broadcasting. When something is out for public, that is known as broadcast. And the next concept is synchronous. Synchronous is nothing but at the same time. For example, in a class, if the teacher is teaching to the students, the teacher must be there and at the same time the student must be there. That is known as synchronous. Means if something is happening at that time, the sender and the receiver must be there at the same time. That is known as synchronous. And next thing is asynchronous. The meaning of asynchronous is not at the same time. For example, if the teacher is teaching some concept to the student and at the same time the teacher is there in the classroom, but the student is not present at that classroom, but the teacher want to listen to the teacher's lecture. At that time, someone will record the teacher's lectures, and after recording, the student may be able to watch that lecture after some time. That is, he will observe that captured video. That is known as asynchronous. Asynchronous means the teacher and the student must be not there at the same time. And one more thing is, if you will see the YouTube, some person will record his lectures in YouTube, and after broadcasting, the viewers can view that video whenever they will like. Means the teacher and the student is not at the same time, or the sender and the receiver are not at the same time. That is known as asynchronous. Next thing is communicative. Communicative is one person is trying to convey something to the receiver. That is, the sender is sending something to the receiver, and the receiver in response, he can give the response to the sender. That is known as communicative. Means that sender is sending something to the receiver, and the receiver will capture this, and according to that, he will give the response to the sender. That is known as communicative. And if you will consider particular thing which is having broadcast and synchronous, means at the same time the sender and receiver must be there, and that signal or the content is open to everyone. For example, if you will see a lecture in the classroom, means if some 50 students are there in the classroom, whatever the teacher is telling, that is open to these 50 students. That is nothing but this is broadcasted to these 50 students. And the teacher must be there in the classroom and the student must be there in the classroom. And one more example is live TV. That is, if you will watch the news, and at that time some TV channel is broadcasting their news, and the receiver must be there at the same time at anywhere, and he may be able to watch that news. That is known as broadcast and synchronous. And now we will discuss broadcast and asynchronous. Broadcast means it is open to everyone, and asynchronous means sender and receiver is not there at the same time. There is no need to be at the same time. The sender is sending his content, and at some later time, the receiver may be able to receive this. As for example, YouTube. There is someone is publishing some concepts on the YouTube. That is, some lecture he is going to place on the YouTube servers. If the sender is recording something and he is publishing some content on the YouTube, and after publishing that, and after some time, that may be 1 day or 10 days or whatever it may be, some 100 days, the receivers are able to leave this video. That is, the sender and the receiver must not be at the same time. There is nothing but broadcast and asynchronous. Now we will discuss about synchronous and communicating. And the best example for this is video conference. For example, if some video conference is going to help between the chief minister and the collectors, means the chief minister is somewhere at the capital and the collectors are at their district headquarters. But at the same time, all these persons can communicate at a time. Means all these chief minister and all these collectors must be there at the same time, but not at the same place. Why? Because everyone is operating from their own area or own place. That is known as synchronous. Means all these persons must be at the same time for this video conference, and they can able to communicate one another by using some devices. That is known as synchronous and communicating. Means the chief minister can deliver something to the collectors, and in response the collector can, or the collectors may give their response to the chief minister. That is known as synchronous and communicating. In the next case is communicative and asynchronous. Asynchronous means the sender and the receiver is not there at the same time, but they can communicate with one another. For example, some online discussion forum is there. Means some teacher will give some contents on the web, and after studying of these things, the student is having some doubts, and he can post his doubts on the online, so that after some time the teacher will see the doubts and he can give the answers again on the online, and after some time the student can see the answers to his questions. This is nothing but communicative and asynchronous. Means the teacher and the students are communicative, and both are not at the same time. That is known as asynchronous. The example is online discussion forum. Now we will see the characteristics of educational technology. Here we have various methods such as micro teaching, interaction analysis, audio visual aids, and program learning method. Micro teaching method is nothing but a new teacher is practicing his teaching with the help of a small classroom. Means with 2 or 3 audiences or students, and the interactional analysis means how the teacher is interacting with the students. Next thing is he can use some of the electronic devices, that may be some projector or radio or TV, these things. And the methods for program learning means in a systematic approach he is going to teach. And in the field of educational technology, we can use psychology. Psychology is nothing but the scientific study of the human mind. Means the students' minds we can study, and the science and technology, the system, art, and the audiovisual aids and machines we are using in the field of educational technology. And it is based on the application of the scientific knowledge. And if you will use this educational technology, the teaching process is very easy, clear, interesting, and objective, and it is scientific. And it is continuously changing, means it is a dynamic technology. Means day by day it is improving, and it is a very important medium of communication for better understanding of the students. And with this education technology, there is a possibility of change in the behavior of teachers and the students. Means the teacher can teach in a better way, the student can understand in a better way. That is the desired change. Now we will discuss about revolution and development of educational technology. According to Eric Ashley, he identified 4 revolutions in education. Among them, the first one is the first revolution. Means in the ancient days, usually something is taught from parents to the sons. Means the parent is playing the role of teacher, and their sons are playing the role of the students. Means there are no schools are there at that time. Everything is taught by the parents, and whatever he learned from the parent is going to teach to his son. Like that, everything is taught from parent to the child. And at the first revelation, the parents are shifted as teacher, and the home is shifted to schools, and the students are learning in the school rather than the homes. This is known as the first revolution. And in the second revolution of education technology, here the words are invented, and depending upon these words, they are going to write something, and it is the tool of education. And in third revolution, the printing materials, books are invented, and the students are able to write in the books, and they can read from the books and other teaching materials. This is third revolution, that is the invention of books and printing material. And in the fourth revolution, the electronic devices are invented, and it is widely used in the educational system, that is known as the radio, television, projector, cassette recorders, CDs, DVDs, pen drives, everything, thus smartphones, and these things are used in the education system, and this is the fourth revolution. If you will see this picture, there is a development in educational technology. In the ancient days, you are going to write the things in the leaves, and after that some papers are used, and after that some landline telephones you can see. There is some development. After that televisions, and after that smartphones, and after that something like satellites, computers, laptops, and then internet from 4G to 5G, like that. It is continuously a developing process, and all these things we are using in our educational system. This is nothing but evolution of education technology. Now we will discuss about need and importance of educational technology. Among them, first one is population explosion. Means the population is increasing at a very fast speed, and we cannot educate all these people just by using teachers. Something new is required. In the modern world, the TVs, internet, CDs, and everything, communication systems, that is the telecom system, with the help of all these communication mediums and the devices, we can educate millions of people together in one setting. Means online classes, offline classes, and YouTube videos, and some other online teaching applications. With the help of these things, we can educate all this population. No need to go to the school. From their home, they can learn everything. The second thing is fast generation of new knowledge. If you can observe, the knowledge is expanding with a very fast speed. And simply it is for every 3 years it is doubling. And there is a huge amount of knowledge. The teacher cannot accommodate all these things. And the ET can perform this function. Means the education technology can accommodate all this knowledge, and it can be useful to the learners. And the next concept is development of new strategies. Means for training a teacher, some of the new concepts are derived. Among them, the first one is micro teaching. Micro teaching is nothing but, if you can see the picture, there are only 4 students are there and 1 teacher is there. A new teacher, all of a sudden, he cannot teach some 100 students. First of all, he has to start from some 2 to 3 students, and after that, it has to be increased to some 10 students, 20 students, like that. And he will explain a simple concept for some 5 to 10 minutes. This is his first step in teaching, that is known as micro teaching. And the program instruction means everything, whatever he wants to teach, he will prepare in advance with the help of some PowerPoints, and he will explain the concepts using this electronic media. And the instructional analysis means convenience parts he will present to students one by one, and he will use the hardware technology in education. These are the development of new strategies in educational technology. Then the next concept is mass education, mass extension of modern teaching. In COVID pandemic time, you can observe that the students are able to attend the classes from their homes using online teaching. Means the teachers and the students are going to communicate in the same platform using the computers or the smartphones. The teacher will teach something and the students are able to listen the classes, and the students can express their doubts, and in response the teacher is able to clarify their doubts. Another advantage here is less skilled teacher can take the benefit of these demonstrations and improve their teaching capabilities. And one more advantage is the better teachers are at somewhere, and a student from a remote area or a remote village, he may be able to get the benefits from the teacher by sitting in his village, and a large number of students can take the benefit of the expert teacher or renowned teacher by sitting at their home. And the next concept is this is advantages to private students. If you will observe in nowadays, the distance learning is growing. Means many universities are giving permission to students for private examinations. These students do not attend the classes, and to maintain the standard of higher education, they will learn everything by sitting in their homes. Means the distance education universities are providing radio channels, TV channels. For example, if you will see IGNO is having some radio channel, and in that radio channel, there everything is scheduled. That is, according to the schedule, they will deliver classes in the radio, and the students will take their time, and according to the time, they can listen the classes from the radio. And also, some TV channels, government TV channels are there. They are giving the classes, and the students are able to learn those classes by sitting their homes. The student need not go to the college. By sitting there at their home, they can learn everything from the teachers. The next concept is preservation of knowledge. Preservation is knowledge is nothing but the storage of knowledge. You can store the contents in the CDs, DVDs, pen drive, and memory cards. And whenever you are having some content which is useful to you, those content you can store in these secondary storage devices, and later on you can watch these things and you can learn, and you can view this at any time by storing these things in your secondary storage devices. The next case is creation of interesting learning situation, and by using this educational technology, the teaching process is enjoy. It is not a burden. Okay, why? Because we can learn the concepts very easily, and it is very beneficial to the students. Okay, friends, this is about educational technology. Please subscribe our channel, like and share. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.